Hello and welcome to this next class of the UPSC Mains Answer Writing Initiative, a place where we are trying to simplify and take away the fear of answer writing from your mind. Every single day at 7 p.m. we have this class where we decode a previous year question, try and discuss the answer to that and give you homework for you to write, and I'll be happy to evaluate those answers as well. If you want to send me, I give you my email ID for that. Also, I've told this earlier, but I'll remind once again, we are now on the verge of beginning our first comprehensive program for answer writing. This will begin after the prelims examination is over. This is not just a mains test series, it's much more than that. We'll be starting this exercise to handhold you into the world of answer writing. Every single week I'll give you a study target based on which at the end of the week you'll be given a test. The level of questions will increase with every passing week, from the very basics to the level of the UPSC questions. Every single week I'll have a one-on-one interaction with you as well to discuss your progress, to discuss where you are lagging and what exactly can be done. At the end of it, we'll also have a test series, a full-fledged one. This is suitable for both if you're appearing for 2024 or if you're planning for 2025 attempt as well. This will be suitable for both of you. In the entire program, you will be writing about 500 odd answers. So it will be a whole lot of practice for you, so that you are able to face each and every kind of question that UPSC might throw at you. With that, let's see what do we have for you today. But before we begin, as I tell you in every single class, if you are new here, if this is your first ever class, please do remind yourself that in class number 1, we discuss about structure of answer writing. So if you have not attended that, I am giving the link of this entire playlist in the description of the video. Go to class number 1 and there you will find our discussion about how to write the introduction, the main body, the conclusion, where to write the way forward, where to avoid it, what to write in the introduction. All these things we have discussed. Again, you will find the link of the entire playlist in the description of the video. Go and check that out as well. Now let's see what question are we taking up today. Today we are taking up a question from 2022 GS2. It's a question from Indian polity. Discuss the role of National Commission for Backward Classes in the wake of its transformation from a statutory body to a constitutional body. As you know, the National Commission for Backward Classes just a few years back was converted from a statutory body to a constitutional body with an amendment in the Constitution of India. The National Commission for Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes have already been given this status of a constitutional body, but the Backward Class Commission became a constitutional body very recently. So the question is about the role of that commission. Now, please understand, they are not asking you how it was converted from statutory to constitutional. So don't waste your time in that. The focus of the question is role of the National Commission for Backward Classes. That is what the main part of the question is. Don't spend or don't waste your words while writing about how it was converted from statutory to constitutional body. They are just connecting it to the fact that recently it was converted to from statutory to constitutional. That is why we are asking you this question. But the question is about the role of this commission. Now, in the introduction, we will write about how and when it got converted to a constitutional body. It's a simple fact-based intro. It was through 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act in 2018 that it got converted to a constitutional body. There were articles 338B and 342A that were added in the constitution. So this is how you will begin. In Indian polity questions, it's a very simple, straightforward way to begin. Whenever they're asking you about any commission, if it's a constitutional body, you can start with the article number. If it is something that recently happened, any Supreme Court case, you can again start by introducing that Supreme Court case. So whatever happened recently, the recently held fact related to that particular question can be your introduction in Indian polity questions. So that is how it is pretty easy. So that is how you can begin here. Now we have to, as I said, write mainly about the role, and it is in wake of or related to how it has been converted to a constitutional body. So we have to basically manage both. We'll start with how it has now an increased status, its authority has been enhanced since it has also been converted to a constitutional body similar to the National Commission for Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes. Then we'll come on to the main functions or the roles that it has. Now, as you know, the National Commission of Backward Classes plays a similar role for the backward classes as the Scheduled Tribe and Scheduled Caste Commission play for their related authorities. What is that role? Advising the government on schemes related to Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe or backward classes, acting as a civil court, registering complaints of people if someone belongs to backward class and they think that they have been discriminated against specifically because of their caste, they can come in and register a complaint. That is also something that is investigated by the National Commission of Backward Caste. What else do? They also suggest the government on how to bring in new welfare schemes. They have an annual report for the President of India about what is the work that they did throughout the year. These are some of the things that they do. This is what you'll have to write. Apart from that, another important thing that they do is that in India, as you know, there have been a lot of demands coming in from different sections of the society for inclusion in the backward caste list. Many people want to be included in the backward classes list. Now, to be included in the backward class list, there is again a big part to be played by the National Commission for Backward Classes. They will examine the request for inclusion or exclusion of this list. Please understand, the commission does not take the final call. That will be done by the parliament. But again, this is something which plays a major role in examining all those requests. They investigate what legal protections have been given to these sections of society. Are they being implemented by the government or not? As I said, they suggest the government on what are the new kind of measures and policies that can be introduced. Then you can give certain factual examples also. For example, they played an important role in government's decision to implement 10% reservation for EWS amongst the general category. They contributed to the decision to establish a commission under Article 340 to examine the subcategorization of other backward classes. This is again a important topic that has been in the news. That is that amongst the OBCs also, should we have different categories, because maybe certain OBCs take most of the benefit and the other majority of the OBC caste don't get enough benefits. Redressal of grievances, periodic reports. So again, all this you usually read in Indian polity. It's not new. In order to answer such kind of a question, you do not need any extra knowledge. Whatever you have studied for the prelims examination is good enough for you to write this answer as well. You just need to keep a calm mind and convert it into words and give it a proper structure. And then we will conclude it by telling how the National Commission of Backward Classes, with its better or a wider mandate and increased power, is in a much better place, much stronger place to look into the grievances of the backward classes and ensure that they have enough participation in different sections of the society. Something like this can be the concluding argument. And this is your homework. Let's see if you are keeping a track of current affairs or not. If you are, then you should be able to answer this question. Elaborate the significant socio-economic impacts of water events in India, especially on the marginalized communities. What possible comprehensive policies can be adopted to mitigate this crisis? So you have to focus on water events. Water events can be excessive water, it can be drought, all these are water events. See if you can write this answer in 200 words. And if you can, and if you want me to evaluate, do send this across to this email ID. I'll be happy to give you a feedback. Also, do stay tuned. Very soon, I'll be releasing all the other details about this program, the Mastering Mains Answer Writing program. Till then, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Jai Hind.